Welcome back in series of lectures, building, construction and drawing. And in today's session, we are going to discuss whatever remaining parts are there from the unit number 6. Okay. Uh, in that first point, we are going to discuss that is nothing but the lighting. Okay. Here, whatever lighting is there, it can be achieved through two ways. Okay. One is the natural way and second one is the artificial way. Okay, here sufficient amount of natural light or artificial light is required into the premises of building, maybe we can say into the units of the building, as well as whatever passages are there or whatever different units, maybe in that lifts are there, sanitary blocks are there. In each and every unit we need lighting. Why lighting is required? Necessity of lighting is to getting proper vision, for identifying the proper color, then after that for getting safety, means to avoid the accidents, as well as to getting the comfortability, as well as to increase the efficiency of the work. Okay, means wherever we are living, working or performing any kind of function, at that time we should have sufficient amount of light. Okay, so lighting is required. That's not like too much lighting should be enter into that particular room and all those things, but we should get adequate light and it should be get from the right direction, or we can say proper direction, without glare effect and all those things. Okay, so for that purpose lighting is required. It can be natural light as that obtained from the sun during the day, or artificial one as that from the fluorescent light. Means through two ways we can achieve lighting into the buildings. Okay, in that first one is the artificial one and second one is the natural one. Okay, so to get to achieving the lighting naturally, we go for the provision of the windows to the external walls. Okay, means while deciding the position of window as well as its size, we have to think about the lighting as well as ventilation. Means here whatever opening we are going to provide, through that whether we are going to get, whether we are getting the proper amount of illumination of light. Okay, or we can say whatever requirement is there as per the different consideration or aspects. Means that room or that building, what kind of building is there, then its importance, then what kind of functions we are going to perform in that particular unit, its size. Okay, on these basis we have to go for the deciding its sizes. Okay, already we have covered the ventilation part, so in that we have also discussed about the opening, means such as windows. If we consider our region, in our region 10% minimum whatever clear opening is there for getting the ventilation and lighting. Minimum 10% floor area is required. Whatever floor area is there, out of that 10% of floor area we have to go for the provision of the openings through the walls, so we will get the proper lighting and ventilation. Okay, so by providing the windows we can achieve the natural light. Okay, and in that, to achieving the natural light from sunrise to sunset, means throughout the day, we have to prefer the vertical windows over horizontal, because of vertical windows provides more lighting into the units or into the room of the buildings. Okay, so we have to prefer the vertical windows over as a vertical, sorry, for horizontal. Okay, in that also we can go for the different type of provision of windows, maybe fixed windows also, means whenever at a particular direction or in a particular aspect, uh, uh, at surrounding side any kind of things are there, okay, or unpleasant things are there, or if dumping ground is there, from that point whatever wind is blowing, so to avoid the entry of such kind of wind or air into the building, we can go for the provision of the fixed window. So through that direction or through that aspect we will get only lighting, but we will not get any kind of ventilation. So for ventilation purpose, for other for other walls, we can go for the provision of the windows. Okay, here already we have discussed about the necessity. Okay, daylighting. Sun is the source of light. Morning sun is pleasant and has vitamin D. It is the best tonic for rickets. ओके, म्हणजे जो काही मुडदूस वगैरे सारखा आजार आहे तो आपल्याला याने काय होतोय, बरा होतोय. ओके, sunrays even if diffused kill pathogenic bacteria and keep the vision clear. Means might be you have heard about whatever kitchen room is there, we are going to provide towards the eastern aspect. Why it is so? Because of at morning sun refreshes and its rays are there. Whenever it will enter into the kitchen room, then these sun rays will kill the bacteria. Okay, and generally the generally in a kitchen we are preparing the meal. Okay, so we are preparing the meal at morning time and night time. So at morning time, whenever we are preparing the meal, at that time more heat gets generated. Okay, and whatever remaining time is there of the day, in that period whatever kitchen room is there, it should be keep cool. Okay, for that purpose we go for the provision of the kitchen room towards the eastern direction or eastern aspect. Okay, all the rooms of residential house except storeroom need a reasonable amount of illumination both day and night. Means whatever amount of illumination is required, according to that we have to go for the provision, maybe by natural way or artificial way. Means in artificial way we have to go for the provision of the sufficient amount of fluorescent tubes or bulbs. Okay, stairs or flights of steps must be well illuminated both day and night to avoid confusion and accidents. Okay, drawing room and kitchen should very well illuminated. A relatively less amount of light may be sufficient in a dining room, bedroom, and toilet. Okay, so here whatever lux light is there, we are considering in the lux unit. Okay, and one lux is nothing but the 1 lumen per meter square. Okay, this is the formula. 1 lux is equals to 1 lumen per meter square, and various amount of lighting is required into the particular unit of the building is mentioned here. For kitchen room 200 lux is required, drawing room 100 lux is required, bedroom 50 lux, study room 150 lux, corridor, stair, dining 50 lux, office work 400 lux, very fine job wherever we are performing the very fine jobs or wherever we are working. Okay, in that case 900 lux. Then school classroom 200 lux, in laboratories 300 lux. Some kind of accidents maybe there possibility of happening accidents and all those things in the laboratory, so more lux is required. Auditorium 50 lux, showrooms 30 lux, 300 lux, and shops 200 lux. So these are the different requirements are there in the particular in the different units of the building. It depends what kind of function we are going to perform it in that particular room. According to that we have to go for the provision. Okay, then here lux is nothing but it's an is derived unit, okay, of illumination and luminous emittance, measuring luminous flux per unit area. Okay, it is equal to 1 lumen per square meter. Already we have seen that formula. Okay, then whatever brightest sunlight is there, it is 1,20,000 lux, and bright sunlight is there, that is nothing but the 1,11,000 lux. Okay, and lux is a measure of light intensity. Okay, light intensity measure करण्यासाठी आपण lux हे unit use करतोय, वापरतोय. Okay, this was about the lighting. Okay, and here in that second point is there, that is nothing but the we are achieving the lighting through artificial way also, means by providing the electric equipments, and maybe fluorescent tubes are there or bulbs are there. Okay, means how much amount of how much area is there of that particular unit or building. According to that, we have to mount the number of fluorescent tubes as well as bulbs as per the requirement. Okay, I think ventilation already we have discussed about it. Okay, then thermal insulation is remained. Okay, next point is there, that is nothing but the thermal insulation. Here, when there is difference in temperature of inside of a building and outside atmosphere, heat transform takes place from areas of higher temperature to lower temperature. As like we know, water is moving from upward direction to the downward direction. Okay, in that way here also, whatever temperature is there, that temperature will transform from higher temperature atmosphere to the lower temperature atmosphere. Okay, and that is nothing but the transformation phase. Okay, the thermal insulation is used to indicate the construction or provisions by way of which transmission of heat from or in the room is retarded. Means in thermal insulation, we have to consider what kind of building is there, what kind of building material we are going to use. Okay, and what kind of construction we are going to do. Okay, by considering these things, we will be able to achieve the thermal insulation into the particular building or rooms. Means here we have to minimize the temperature transformation or thermal transformation. Okay, maybe whatever thermal temperature transformation is there, maybe from material to material will be there, from the be there, and from the year will be there. Okay, means whatever these are the different phases are there, or we can say principles are there. Okay, of the thermal insulations. Okay, the aim of thermal insulation is to minimize the transfer of heat between outside and inside of the building. Generally, whatever inside temperature and outside temperature is there into the building, more than 8 degrees Celsius variation should not be there, because of if it is more than that, then whenever we are entering into the room, okay, at that time, if chilled environment is there into that particular room, it will affect on our body. And whenever our body temperature will manage or trying to manage to that room temperature, okay, whatever chilled temperature is there, okay, chilled environment is there, and then after that when we go for the outside, okay, means if there is too much variation in between the inside temperature and outside temperature, then also whenever we are moving outside the building, it will adverse effect on our body. So we have to take proper care, that is the inside temperature and outside temperature, the temperature difference should not be more than 8 degrees Celsius. These are the some principles are there. Three principles are there of the thermal insulation. In that, first one is the conduction, second one is the convection, and third one is the radiation. Okay, so here first principle is nothing but the conduction. Conduction is nothing but if the uh, direct transformation is there or transmission is there of the heat through the material, then we can say it is a कंडक्शन. मटेरियल मधून जर काही हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्म होत असेल एका एंड मधून दुसऱ्या एंडला, तर त्याला काय म्हणायचं, कंडक्शन म्हणायचं. जसं की आपण बघतोय बघा की आपला जर काही एखादा लोखंडाचा रॉड वगैरे आहे, एका साईडला आपण जाळावरती पकडला, तिकडे त्याचं टेम्परेचर जे आहे ते वाढत चाललेलं असते. तर तेच टेम्परेचर जे आहे ते त्याच मटेरियल मधून ट्रान्सफर होत त्याच्या दुसऱ्या एंडला जाते. दुसऱ्या एंडला जरी आपण पकडण्याचा प्रयत्न केला तर तिथे आपल्याला चटका लागल्यागत, भाजल्यागत वाटते बघा. दॅट इज दी कंडक्शन. ओके. देन the amount of heat here, whatever conduction is there, heat transformation through the material, it depends upon the various things. In that, temperature difference, how much temperature difference is there. Okay, एका एंडला किती आहे, दुसऱ्या एंडला किती आहे, त्याच्यावरून जिकडल्या साईडला जास्त आहे तिकडून कमी साईडला, जिकडल्या साईडला टेम्परेचर कमी आहे तिकडल्या साईडला त्याचं टेम्परेचर जे आहे त्याचं ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन होते. ओके. थिकनेस ऑफ सॉलिड मीडियम, व्हॉट काइंड ऑफ or we can say how much amount of thickness is there of that solid medium. Okay. Area of exposed surface, how much exposed surface is there. Then conductivity of the medium, and then density of the medium. Okay. On these things, transformation of heat through the material depends. Okay. म्हणजेच काय बघा, ह्याच्यामध्ये जर काही समजा आपल्याकडे एक सॉलिड पार्टिकल कन्सिडर केलाय किंवा सॉलिड बॉडी कन्सिडर केलेली आहे, की बाबा आपल्याकडं विटाचं ब्लॉक्स आहेत बघा. विटच आपलं जे काही कॉन्क्रीट ब्लॉक आपण बघितले युनिट नंबर 2 मध्ये, सॉलिड कॉन्क्रीट ब्लॉक्स आहेत आणि होलो कॉन्क्रीट ब्लॉक्स आहेत. ओके. सॉलिड कॉन्क्रीट ब्लॉक्स, त्याच्यामध्ये काय डेन्सिटी जी आहे ती त्याची जास्त आहे, डेन्स मटेरियल आहे, त्याची थिकनेस जी आहे ती जास्त आहे, कारण त्याच्यामध्ये कुठेही व्हॅक्यूम नाही. तर अशा गोष्टीमधून हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन जे आहे ते लवकरात लवकर होते. ओके. जर काही त्याच्याऐवजी आपण होलो कॉन्क्रीट ब्लॉक जर काही कन्सिडर केला, म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये काय व्हायला लागलं, व्हॅक्यूम तयार व्हायला लागली. ओके. त्याची थिकनेस जी आहे ती कमी कमी व्हायला लागली, बरोबर आहे नाही. तर जिथं व्हॅक्यूम क्रिएट केलेलं असते किंवा व्हॅक्यूम मधून हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन जे आहे ते अतिशय स्लो होते. ओके. त्यामुळेच आपण काय करतोय की बाबा, जर का आपल्याला थर्मल इन्सुलेशन करायचं असेल एखाद्या बिल्डिंग मध्ये, तर आपण इन्स्टेड ऑफ सॉलिड ब्लॉक्स वी हॅव टू गो फॉर दी प्रोव्हिजन ऑफ दी होलो ब्लॉक्स. ओके. की जेणेकरून जिथं जिथं आपण कॅव्हिटी तयार किंवा निर्माण करण्याचा प्रयत्न करतोय, तर त्या कॅव्हिटी मधून हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन जे आहे ते इझिली होत नाही. ओके. दॅट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट बिहाइंड दॅट. ओके. तुम्हाला थर्मासचं एक्झाम्पल माहिती आहे बघा. थर्मास जे आहे ते त्याच प्रिन्सिपल वरती वर्क करतंय. थर्मास जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये आपण काय करतोय बाबा, जे मटेरियल आपण त्याच्यामध्ये स्टोअर करतोय, गार मटेरियल जे आहे ते गारच राहते, गरम जे आहे ते गरमच राहते. तसं का होतंय, तर त्याच्यामध्ये काय केलं जाते, तर 2 लेअर असतात, 2 बॉडी पार्ट असतात त्या थर्मासचे. आतमधला एक पार्ट असतो आणि बाहेर साईडला एक पार्ट असतो. पण ह्या 2 बॉडी पार्टच्या मध्ये बरोबर व्हॅक्यूम तयार केलेलं राहते. ओके. की जेणेकरून त्या व्हॅक्यूम मधून हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन जे आहे ते प्रिव्हेंट केलं जाते. सहसा तरी त्याच्यातनं हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन होत नाही. त्याच्याच धर्तीवरती आपलं जे थर्मास जे आहे ते काय करतंय, तर वर्क करतंय. ओके. देन सेकंड प्रिन्सिपल इज देअर, दॅट इज नथिंग बट दी कन्व्हेक्शन. Heat is transmitted by convection in fluids and gases as a result of circulation. ह्याच्यामध्ये काय होतं बघा, कन्व्हेक्शन मध्येच काय हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन जे आहे ते फ्लुइड किंवा गॅसेस मधून झालं की त्याला काय म्हणायचं, कन्व्हेक्शन म्हणायचं. अँड देन रेडिएशन इज देअर. हीट इज ट्रान्सफर्ड बाय रेडिएशन थ्रू स्पेस in the form of radiant energy. If heat transformation takes place into the air or into the space, then we can say it is a radiation. Okay. One of the way of reducing heat absorption from radiant is to introduce a suitable reflecting surfaces. Means here, whenever heat transformation is there through the space, okay, or we can say in the form of radiations, then to avoid it, we have to go for the provision of the suitable reflecting surfaces. Might be you have heard, sometimes we go for the provision of the some seats over the metal seats. Okay, wherever we are going to provide the ऍट रुफिंग लेवलला जे काय आपण मेटल सीट्स पत्रे वगैरे टाकतोय बघा, किंवा आपण स्लॅब टाकलेला असेल तर त्याच्यावरती आपण सुटेबल रिफ्लेक्टिंग सर्फेसेस आपण अप्लाय करतोय किंवा सीट्स पण अप्लाय करतोय की जेणेकरून रेडिएशन हिट जी आहे ती आपण काय करतोय रिफ्लेक्ट करतोय, ती रिफ्रॅक्टेड होऊ देत नाही किंवा तिथला जो काही मटेरियल आहे तो ऍब्सॉर्ब करत नाही. जसं की आपण कधी तुम्ही मंदिरामध्ये गेलेला असाल बघा, ओके, तर मंदिरामध्ये जे काय आपल्याला देवाचे दर्शन घेण्यासाठी आपण रांगेत उभा राहतो बघा, आणि रांगेत उभा राहत असताना जर काही समजा तिथं जिथून रांग जाते तिथून जर काही समजा वरती रूफिंग मटेरियल वगैरे प्रोव्हाइड केलेलं नसेल तर सहसा आपण काय करतो की जिथून रांग जे आहे त्याच्यावरती व्हाईट कलरचा पेंट प्रोव्हाइड करतोय बघा, ओके, दॅट विल बी रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस. ओके, प्रोव्हिजन ऑफ दी रिफ्लेक्टिंग सरफेस म्हणजे व्हाईट कलर जो आहे तो काय करतो, एनर्जी आहे तो ऍब्सॉर्ब आपलं सॉरी हीट जे आहे ते ऍब्सॉर्ब करून घेत नाही, तो काय करतोय तर रिफ्लेक्ट करतोय. ओके, such kind of surfaces we have to go for the provision, okay, over the roof, so we will be achieve the heat insulation. Various methods of thermal insulations are there apart from providing the thermal insulating materials on walls, roofs, door, etc. Thermal insulation can also be achieved by the following methods, in that heat insulation by orientation, heat insulation by shading, heat insulation by proper height of ceiling. Okay, here instead of these also we can go for the provision of we can go for the achieving the thermal insulation into the room by providing the suitable type of by using the suitable type of material. Okay, those materials have good kind of property of a thermal insulation, such as, okay, if we consider for roofing purpose we have used metal sheets. Okay, पत्रे आपण काय केलेले तर वरती टाकलेले आहेत, छत जे आहे ते आपलं मेटल सीट्स पासून बनवलेलं आहे असं आपण कन्सिडरेशन केलं. तर मेटलची जी काही हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्म करण्याची जी काही कॅपॅसिटी आहे ते अतिशय जास्त आहे, त्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला अशा रूम मध्ये किंवा अशा बिल्डिंग मध्ये आपल्याला खूप उकडते किंवा तिथलं टेम्परेचर जे आहे ते इन्क्रीज होते, इझिली त्याच्यामधून ट्रान्सफर होतं. त्याच्याऐवजी जर काही समजा आपण तिथंच जे काही आपलं मेटल सीट्स प्रोव्हाइड केलेत त्याच्याच खाली थोडस फॉल सेलिंग नावाचा एक कॉन्सेप्ट असतो बघा. ओके, जसं की आपलं पीओपी असते बघा, प्लास्टर ऑफ पॅरिस. प्लास्टर ऑफ पॅरिसचा मेन पर्पज काय आहे की बाबा जेणेकरून इंटेरियर जे आहे आपल्या रूम मधलं किंवा बिल्डिंग मधलं ते अट्रॅक्टिव्ह बनवण्यासाठी किंवा त्याचं ब्युटिफिकेशन करण्यासाठी आपण काय करतोय तर पीओपी ला जातोय. परंतु जर काही तिथं पण आपण पीओपी यूज केलं, मेटल सीट्स आहेत त्याच्या खाली आपण पीओपी प्रोव्हाइड केलं तर त्याच्यामुळे काय होणार आहे बघा, पीओपीचा एक सरफेस असणार आहे आणि मेटल सीट्सचा एक सरफेस असणार आहे. तर हे जे काही दोन सरफेस आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये व्हॅक्युम क्रिएट केलं जाते, एक पोकळी तयार केली जाते, अँड थ्रू दॅट व्हॅक्युम heat transformation will not happen, and due to that we will be able to achieve the thermal insulation into that particular room. किंवा कधी कधी फॉल सिलिंग वगैरे बघितलं असेल बघा तुम्ही, आपल्या जे काही इंटरनॅशनल कॉन्फरन्स हॉल आहे आपल्या कॉलेजचा, ओके, तिथं पण आपण काय केलंय, मध्ये फॉल सिलिंग प्रोव्हाइड केलंय, साईडला पीओपी प्रोव्हाइड केलंय, बोथ काइंड ऑफ प्रोव्हिजन केलेले आहेत. तिथं पण वरती काय आहे, वरती आपल्या इकडं त्याच्यामध्ये स्लॅब नाहीये, ओके, तर तिथं काय मेटल सीट्स आपण प्रोव्हाइड केलेले आहेत. तर त्याच्यामध्ये काय पोकळी तयार करून आपण काय करू शकतोय तर थर्मल इन्सुलेशन जे आहे ते अचीव्ह करू शकतोय, किंवा त्याच्याच बरोबर आतमधलं इंटेरियर पार्ट जो आहे त्याचं ब्युटिफिकेशन पण करू शकतोय. किंवा समटाइम्स आपले जे काही वॉल्स असतात बघा, ऑर्डिनरी ब्रिक्स यूज करण्याच्या ऐवजी होलो ब्रिक्स यूज करायच्या, किंवा आपण काय म्हणूया की बाबा त्याच्यामध्ये ऑर्डिनरी वॉल कन्स्ट्रक्ट करण्याच्या ऐवजी कॅव्हिटी वॉलला जायचं. ओके, कॅव्हिटी वॉलचा कॉन्सेप्ट म्हणजे काय आहे बघा, याच्यामध्ये जे काही दोन वॉल्स जे आहेत त्या साइड बाय साइड आपल्याला काय करायचे, कन्स्ट्रक्ट करायचे, की जेणेकरून त्या दोन वॉलच्या मध्ये पोकळी राहील. त्याच्यामध्ये जी काही पोकळी आहे ती जास्त भली मोठी नसते, एक 3 इंच 4 इंचाची आपण काय करतोय तर पोकळी तयार करतोय, आणि त्या दोन रूम ज्या आहेत त्या एकमेकांना इंटरकनेक्ट करतोय. ओके, किंवा त्याच्यामध्ये बॉन्डिंग जे आहे ते प्रॉपर ठेवतोय. मग त्याच्यामध्ये एका वॉलची थिकनेस जी आहे ती 9 इंचाची असेल आणि दुसऱ्या वॉलची थिकनेस जी आहे ती 4.5 इंचाची असेल. ओके, मग त्याच्यामध्ये आपण व्हॅक्युम क्रिएट करतोय, म्हणजे पोकळी तयार करतोय, आणि त्याच्यातून हीट ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन जी आहे ती होत नाही. या प्रकारचं वॉल जे आहेत ते आपण सहसा तरी ज्या रिजन मध्ये जास्त प्रमाणात टेम्परेचर असते त्या रिजन मध्ये आपण प्रोव्हाइड करू शकतोय फॉर achieving the thermal insulation in that particular region. Okay. Other than that, we can go for the achieving of the thermal insulation by the other ways, in that by orientation, by shading, and by providing the proper height of ceiling. Okay, here whatever heat insulation by orientation. The orientation of a building with respect to the sun has a very important bearing on its thermal behavior. Okay, the optimum orientation, there are usually conflicting requirements. Minimum transfer of solar heat is desired during the day in summer, while maximum heating of rooms by solar heat is required during winter. Okay, means whatever the room temperatures are there, or inside temperature is there of the building. Okay, in summer season we need lesser temperature, okay, into the buildings, and in a winter season we need more temperature. Okay, so by considering that, we have to go for the provision of particular room into the particular aspect, so we will get the thermal insulation into that particular room or units. Okay, जे काही सराउंडिंग साईडचं वातावरण आहे, जे क्लायमेटिक कंडिशन आहे, त्याचा कन्सिडरेशन करून आपल्याला काय करायचंय, तर ते heat insulation करायचंय. Okay, then after that, heat insulation by shading means by providing the shadings also we can go for the minimizing the heat transformation. Okay, in that, white shading of roof brings down the surface temperature. It is very difficult to achieve this effect in a practice. Okay, we know that the concept. Earlier I told you, मंदिराचा जो काही तुम्हाला कॉन्सेप्ट सांगितला, की जिथून आपले रांग वगैरे असते त्याच्या खाली जो काही आपला वे आहे त्याला त्याच्यावरती काय करतोय, तर आपण फ्लोरिंग जे आहे त्याच्यावरती व्हाईट पेंट वगैरे अप्लाय करतोय, की जेणेकरून तिथं टेम्परेचर जे आहे त्याचं तिथलं मेंटेन राहावं. ओके, तर त्या पद्धतीने पण आपण काय करू शकतो, शेडिंग प्रोव्हाइड करू शकतो बाय प्रोव्हाइडिंग द पेंट्स. When the altitude angle of the sun is quite high during the period of peak heat gain in afternoons. Okay, so whatever altitude angle जो आहे, त्या altitude angle किती आहे बाबा, त्याच्यानंतर पण त्यावेळेस त्याचं टेम्परेचर वगैरे किती जाते, त्याचं कन्सिडरेशन करून we can go for the rising the height of the parapet wall, as well as whatever chhajjas we are going to provide, its width we have to increase it. Okay, means we have to go for the shading, or sometimes we have to go for the plantation of trees. Okay, through these things we can go for the achieving of the thermal insulation by shading. ओके, किंवा झाडं वगैरे लावून किंवा कंपाऊंड वॉल जी आहे ती पण थोडीशी इन्क्रीज करून, किंवा आपली पॅरापेट वॉल जी आहे त्याची हाईट जी आहे ती इन्क्रीज करून वगैरे आपण काय करू शकतो, तर टेम्परेचर जे काय आहे आतमधलं बिल्डिंग मधलं ते मेंटेन करू शकतो किंवा ठेवू शकतो. Then after that, heat insulation by proper height of ceiling. Okay, means here generally in residential building we go for the provision of floor to floor height as 10 feet, that is nothing but the 3 meter. Okay, if we go for the provision of the more floor to floor height, then heat transformation, whatever heat insulation is there, we will achieve it. Okay, while the surface temperature of the ceiling does not vary with its height, the intensity of long wave radiation emitted by the ceiling decreases as it travels downwards. Okay, hence it should be adequate to provide ceiling at a height of about 1 to 1.3 meter above the occupant. Occupantचं जे काही टोटल हाईट आहे त्याच्यावरती 1 मीटर ते 1.3 मीटर पेक्षा जास्त आपली सिलिंगची हाईट वगैरे आपल्याला काय करायची, प्रोव्हाइड करायची, की जेणेकरून सिलिंग हाईट जी आहे ती जास्त प्रोव्हाइड करून आपण काय करू शकतो, तर हे ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन जे आहे ते वरतून खाली सहसा तरी जास्त होणार नाही याची काळजी घेतली जाते. सहसा तरी आपले पब्लिक बिल्डिंग जे आहे त्या पब्लिक बिल्डिंग मध्ये आपण काय करतोय, तर फ्लोर टू फ्लोर हाईट जी आहे ती जास्त ठेवण्याचा प्रयत्न करतोय. ओके, सो बाय युजिंग दीज डिफरंट ways we can go for the achieving of heat insulation. Okay, also we can go for the use of different kind of materials for achieving the thermal insulation, in that by providing the slabs or block insulations, blanket insulation, loose fill insulations. Okay, Then after that, bat insulating material, insulating boards, reflective sheet materials, lightweight materials. Already I discussed about these things. Okay, म्हणजे पीओपी झालं, आपलं प्लास्टर ऑफ पॅरिस झालं, किंवा वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचं शेडिंग असेल. ओके, किंवा मग आपलं ज्या काही वॉल्स आहेत त्याच्यामध्ये कॅव्हिटी वॉल असेल, किंवा इन्स्टेड ऑफ सॉलिड brick blocks, we have to go for the use of hollow brick blocks. Okay, so through which we will be able to achieve the thermal insulation into the building. Okay, then after that, here for achieving the thermal insulation we can go for the use of different kind of materials, but whatever insulating materials are there, it depends what kind of insulating material we have to use. It depends upon the various factors or things in that, cost of material, area to be covered, standard of insulation required, coat of heating or cooling, rate of heating and cooling. Insulating material should have the following properties. Okay, it should have high temperature thermal resistance, it should be reasonably fireproof, it should be insects proof, and it should be durable. Means whatever kind of material we are going to use for the achieving the thermal insulation, in that case that material should be insect proof. Means वाळवी वगैरे जे आहे ते त्याला लागायला नकोय. देन आफ्टर दॅट ड्युरेबल, टिकाऊ असायला पाहिजे. इट शुड नॉट कॅच इझिली फायर, अँड थर्मल रेजिस्टन्स ऑफ दॅट particular material should be more or high. Okay, so such kind of material we can use it for the achieving thermal insulation. Okay, so this was about the thermal insulation. Then next part is there, that is nothing but the air conditioning, and this is the last part from unit number 6. Okay, here air conditioning may be defined as the process of creating air so as to control simultaneously its temperature, humidity, purity, and distribution to meet the requirements of the conditioned space. Okay, means wherever air conditioning is required, means ventilation is required. Okay, ventilation is nothing but the supply of fresh air into the room or building. That is nothing but the ventilation. And in air conditioning also we are going to supply the air. Okay, fresh air, or we can say pure air. Okay, in ventilation process we do not go for the purifies the air, humidification, dehumidification, and we are not going to change its temperature of the air. Okay, but in air conditioning we go for the maintaining the temperature of air, humidity of air, then purity, and we also ensure about the distribution of air into the each and every corner of the room. Okay, or building. So here we are discussing about the air conditioning. The various requirements of conditioned space may be comfort and health of human beings, needs of certain industrial processes, efficient working of commercial premises, etc. What is the necessity of air conditioning? So generally already I have discussed the one example, that is whatever we are earning during our life, most of the money we are going to spend for the construction of our dream house. Okay, and in that dream house we should get feel comfort, hygienic life, healthy environment, peace, then after that comfortable. Okay, so to getting these things, whatever environment is there into that particular building or particular rooms should be hygienic one, it should be comfortable one, and to getting it we have to go for the provision of the ventilation or air conditioning. Air conditioning is one of the part of ventilation. Okay, so here as well as if we consider the industrial buildings, then in that case, or in case of agricultural field, whatever things are there, those things we have to preserve it for long duration. In that case also, air conditioning is required. Okay, and wherever we are working, if in that premises temperature is at required level, we can say whatever air we are getting, if we are getting fresh air, hygienic, then whatever our mentality is there, it will be in a good condition. And whenever our mentality is in good condition, at that time, whatever we are doing work, we will do it more efficiently. Means to increase the efficiency of work, air conditioning is required. Okay. So here, air conditioning is resorted for the following purposes. It helps in preserving or maintaining health, comfort, and convenience of occupants of residential building. Also, it helps in improving the quality of products in certain industrial processes. It helps in marketing the commercial premises such as shops, banks, offices more active and efficient. जर काही तुम्ही एखाद्या बँक मध्ये गेला, शॉप मध्ये गेला, खरेदी करायला गेला, ओके, तर त्यावेळेस तिथलं वातावरण जे आहे ते हायजेनिक असायला पाहिजे. जर का हायजेनिक वातावरण असेल, तुम्हाला जर काही टेम्परेचर जे आहे ते तिथलं जास्त असेल, यू विल नॉट बी स्टे फॉर मोर ड्युरेशन. इफ तुम्हाला काय करायचंय तिथं त्यांना एंगेज करून ठेवायचं की बाबा जास्त काळापर्यंत राहिले पाहिजे. जास्त काळापर्यंत जर काही ते आपल्या शॉपमध्ये वगैरे राहिले किंवा जे काही आपल्या मॉलमध्ये राहिले, तर त्या वेगवेगळ्या गोष्टी बघू शकतात आणि त्यानंतर पुन्हा ते काय करू शकतात, तर जास्तीत जास्त त्यांचा फायदा जो आहे तो होऊ शकतो किंवा परचेस करू शकतात जे काही कस्टमर आहेत ते. तर त्यांना तिथं हायजेनिक एन्व्हायरमेंट जे आहे ते प्रोव्हाइड करणं गरजेचं राहते. इट प्रोव्हाइड्स मोर कम्फर्टेबल एंटरटेनमेंट इन थिएटर्स. ओके, थिएटर जे आहे त्याच्यामध्ये पण कम्फर्टेबल फिलिंग येण्यासाठी आपण काय करतोय, प्रोव्हाइड करतोय. ओके, classification of air conditioning based on the season, and there are two types are there. One is the summer air conditioning and second one is the winter air conditioning. Okay, here in summer outside temperature is more and hence cooling of air is required for greater comfort. Means we know that whatever summer season is there, in that direct sun rays are there. Okay, and due to that its temperature will be more. Okay, and we have to go for the reducing the temperature, or we have to require the provision of cooled air or chilled air, okay, into the building. Okay, here in summer air conditioning, whatever operational cycle is there, okay, is like this: air cleaning, air cooling, dehumidification, air distribution. You can see here. Okay, air cleaning, air cooling, dehumidification, and air distribution. Here whatever different rooms are there into the particular building, in those units we have to go for the provision of a good quality of air or pure air. Okay, its temperature is maintained, its humidity is maintained, as well as its purity is also maintained. Okay, so to provide such kind of air, we have to go for the this cycle. Okay, means we have to go for the purification of air, whether cooling is required or heating is required. According to that we have to go for it. Whether humidification or dehumidification is required, according to that also we have to go for it. And it depends, air cooling and humidification and dehumidification or air heating depends upon the season. कुठला सीझन चालू आहे, समर सीझन चालू आहे का विंटर सीझन चालू आहे, त्याच्यानुसार आपण काय करतोय, तर त्याचं एअर जे आहे त्या एअरचं कूलिंग किंवा हिटिंग जे आहे ते करत राहतो. ओके, किंवा आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो की ह्युमिडिफिकेशन किंवा डिह्युमिडिफिकेशन करायचं असेल तर त्या एअरचं आपण सीझन वाईज करतोय. ओके, सो हिअर 1 minute. Okay, we are discussing about the cycle operation of the air conditioning during summer season. Here in that whatever year is there, outside year is there, in that year some kind of impurities are there. Okay, dust, dirt will be there, that we have to remove it. Okay, before uh, cooling that year. Okay, means here for that purpose we go for the provision of the filters. Okay, in that filter unit we go for the filtering the air, or we go for the cleaning the air, means whatever impurities are there we are going to remove the impurities, and then after that, after removing the impurities into the air, that air, pure air, we are going to supply to the air conditioning unit. Okay, sorry, air cooling unit. Okay, in that unit we are going to minimize the temperature of that air. Okay, means we go for the cooling of air. After cooling of air, it is sent to the dehumidification process, means during summer season evaporation of water is much more, and due to that humidity, आर्द्रता जी आहे आपल्या हवेमधली ती जी आहे ती जास्त असते. ओके, means whatever moisture contents are there into the air will be more, so we have to go for the dehumidification, means we have to minimize the moisture content from the air, means that is nothing but the dehumidification process. After dehumidification process, so we have to go for the distribution of that pure air into the required premises. That is nothing but the distribution system of air. Okay, so this is the cycle for summer air conditioning. And next thing is there, that is nothing but the winter air conditioning. Okay, next type is there. In winter, outside temperature is low, and hence heating of air is required for getting the comfort. As like similar summer season, here also we have to go for the consideration of one operational cycle. In that, firstly we have to go for the air cleaning, then after that air heating, humidification, and air distribution. Okay, here whatever fresh air is there in atmosphere, that we have to get it first, and then after that we have to send it to the filter unit, so whatever impurities are there we will be able to remove it, and then after that the fresh air, or we can say the pure air, we are going to supply to the air heating. Okay, because of whatever temperature is there of outside air is less, so we have to increase its temperature, means we have to go for the air heating. After air heating, we have to go for the humidification process, means in winter season whatever air is there, in that whatever humidity is there, it is less. Okay, so we have to add the water moisture content, or we can say moisture content, we have to add the moisture content. That process is nothing but the humidification process, and then finally we have to go for the distribution of that pure air into the required premises. So this is the uh, uh, process, or we can say cycle. Okay, we have to use it as per the requirement, as well as what kind of season is there according to that. Okay, different components already we have discussed: filtration, heating, cooling, humidification, dehumidification, and air circulation. That is nothing but the distribution part is there. Okay, filtration. The aim of the filter is to exclude from incoming air dust particles, ash, chemical, soot, bacteria, and other microorganisms, so that clean air is obtained. For that purpose, filtration is required. Heating of air is necessary in winter so as to compensate the heat loss from the room. Okay, cooling of incoming air is necessary in summer. Then there are two methods of cooling of the air. One is the direct expansion method and chilled water system. Okay, by using these two ways, we can go for the cooling of air. Humidification to the to air is necessary in winter when air, because of its low temperature, has very low humidity. ओके, ज्यावेळेस टेम्परेचर लो असते त्यावेळेस त्याच्यामध्ये ह्युमिडिटी जी आहे ती कमी असते, त्यामुळे आपल्याला ह्युमिडिफिकेशनला जायला लागते, म्हणजे त्याच्यामध्ये वॉटर कंटेंट जे आहे मॉइश्चर कंटेंट जे आहे ते काय करायला लागते तर ऍड करायला लागते त्या इयरमध्ये. ओके, त्या प्रोसेस जे आहे त्याला काय म्हणायचं ह्युमिडिफिकेशन. डिह्युमिडिफिकेशन in the process in this process certain required amount of water is extracted from air, means water content जे आहे ते air मधून आपल्याला काय करायचं एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट करायचे म्हणजे रिमूव्ह करायचे. This is done in summer when the incoming air is cooled and dehumidification before the entry into the room is required. And air circulation and distribution, this is one of the most essential requirement, and the efficiency of the system depends largely on the air circulation system. कुठल्या पद्धतीने आपण प्रोव्हिजन करावं आहे, म्हणजे एका रूमला एकच प्रोव्हाइड करावं आहे, that is nothing but the independent system, okay, or unique system is there. Then after that maybe central system will be there, म्हणजे काय एकाच ठिकाणी आपण प्लांट उभा करणार आणि त्याच्या थ्रू जी काही एअर आपण यूज करणार ती सगळ्या जी काही बिल्डिंग आहे त्या टोटल बिल्डिंगला आपण काय करणार आहे थ्रू द पाईपनी किंवा थ्रू द कंड्यूटनी आपण काय करणार आहे तर ती सप्लाय करणार आहे. जनरली ज्यावेळेस आपल्याकडे पब्लिक बिल्डिंग आहेत, मेबी आपलं थिएटर असेल किंवा आपलं मोठमोठे मॉल्स वगैरे असतील तर त्यासाठी सेंट्रल युनिट सिस्टीम जी आहे ते आपण काय करतात तर सेंट्रल सिस्टीम जी आहे ती प्रोव्हाइड करते, आणि जी काय आपल्या रेसिडेन्शियल बिल्डिंग आहे त्याच्यामध्ये युनिट सिस्टीम प्रोव्हाइड करतो, म्हणजे एका रूम साठी एकच आपण एअर कंडिशनर जो आहे तो प्रोव्हाइड करतोय. ओके, सो हिअर युअर सिलेबस इज ओव्हर.